Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Sony LCJ-RXF. This is a jacket-style case designed for the brand new RX100 that I've been covering since I received it, and it is expensive, $84.99. In fact, this is one of those accessories that I think many people will hesitate to pick up simply because it's hard to justify so much money for a case that, quite frankly, I'm not even sure is made of leather. But if you are looking for the most seamless fit for this camera, you're looking at a very good option. You can see Sony giving some directions on use in terms of applying the shoulder strap, as well as how to mount this on a tripod, because you do still retain the tripod mount on the bottom of the half case. So you've got the full case that allows you to still use the screen. I'm going to get this out of here right now. I know a lot of you have been asking me about backwards compatibility with previous gen cases. Unfortunately, I'm not sure. I don't have the previous gen case anymore. I know I did review it in the past. And in terms of whether or not it will fit, hopefully someone out there will respond and let us all know so that we know. But for the time being, although this is roughly twice the price right now, nothing else in the box here, this is really the only option that at least I can share with all of you. And this will accommodate the optional new grip as well, for those of you that are curious. You can see right in here we have some instructions. The wrist strap, fairly standard for what Sony includes with all of their jacket style cases. And whether or not you're going to use this is a matter of personal preference. I'd rather still use a wrist strap. And then you have the full case here. You can see that soft interior in order to keep the camera protected, and right there is the tripod mount, essentially the screw also that's going to screw right into the camera, and then the ability to open it up and use this freely, allow this to hang. The screen will articulate. I'm going to go ahead and mount this up right now so you can see exactly what this case looks like on the camera itself. And if you're interested in keeping the form factor down, this does that to a degree. It's not going to make it more pocket friendly, that I can assure you. But in terms of, as I keep saying, fit and finish, you're really not going to do better. By the way, NFC does work through the contact point. It's mentioned on the instructions for this case that the NFC contact point is not essentially blocked by the case, for those of you that are wondering. So there's the top half. Essentially, you're just going to put it in, click it into position. You will have to remove this every time you want to replace a battery or swap SD cards, but really not a big deal when you consider the amount of protection that this case affords. So do I think this is ideal for everyone? No. I mean, the $85 price point is definitely outrageous, but it is the only custom case for this camera right now at launch. The other thing is that, as I said, it does pretty much cover the camera completely. The fit seems to be good to me, as previous generations of the jacket case have been. Some I've seen where Sony doesn't get the actual logo printed, or I should say stitched on, centered properly, but that doesn't seem to be an issue here. And even though I don't believe this is leather, it still, in my opinion right now, is probably the best option out there. I wish they had some sort of door on the bottom to give us access to the memory card and battery bay, but Sony doesn't do that with any of their jacket style cases. So basically the idea is simple. You have this attached to the strap that's included, or your own wrist strap, and then you're just going to open it up and you're shooting. And because it has that entire opening here on the bottom, the screen does have the ability to articulate. This is something that was introduced last generation, so that's not a new thing, but certainly something that I think most people are going to actually want to have the capability of. So even if it does fit in the prior generation, the first gen, you're not going to be able to use the articulating screen, so keep that in mind. But that may not matter to many of you. This is pretty much a matter, again, of personal preference. But there you have it, the brand new jacket style LCJ-RXF. Again, $85, definitely expensive, but keep in mind you are sporting a brand new $800 camera. So even though it's pocketable, and this case is essentially more than 10% of the cost of the camera, it's really a matter of whether or not you need full protection right now and want the Sony fit and finish at the end of the day, because there are plenty of third-party cases out there. In fact, you've even got cases like this one right here, which is another Sony case that is under $20, and the camera will fit in here, but I find that every time I try to take it in and out, I've got to be careful to avoid the zippers. Now, is that worth the $20 going up to $85? Of course not, but for many consumers, the fact that here you don't have to worry about anything and you have full protection that's modular and just works is going to be a selling point. Forget that it happens to look good on the camera as well. So no impediment in terms of functionality, and really only enhances the overall protection of your camera. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.